all starts here, one August night in 2011. Snoop Dogg is on stage at the California Music Box with Dez, The Game, and Corrupt, and the new king is about to be crowned.
You great at what you do, you ain't good at what you do. You great at what you do, and the people out here, they represent it, and they showing you that. I'ma say this and I'ma mean this. You got the torch, you better run with that. You better run with it, because it's yours.
The king of the West Coast, from sitting on his father's shoulders watching Tupac and Dr. Dre film the music video to California Love, to him being the voice of a whole city. A lot of rappers had made songs detailing the tragic experiences they suffered through gangbanging, but Kendrick Lamar was speaking from a different perspective, a good kid trapped in a brutal city, a perspective that promised a better life away from the street culture that was all too common in Compton, and the burden to possibly bring change to Compton laid on his shoulders, and what a damn good job he was doing, donating large sums of money to school districts around Compton to build after-school programs in an effort to keep the kids off the streets, and donating proceeds from his 2011 record Keisha's Song to address the abusive cycle of prostitution in Compton. And by 2013, Kendrick Lamar would become a global superstar following the release of Good Kid Maad City, and the moment he left Compton to finally fulfill his lifelong dreams, the dream he had for a better Compton would crumble.
You know, we all yearn, we're human, so we yearn to be accepted and we yearn to be loved by other people. And sometimes in the environments that we come from, the people aren't the best people for us to seek love from.
That's Jason Keaton, Westside Moparu member and Kendrick Lamar's best friend. In 2010, a jury found him guilty for being an accessory to a He was apparently trying to earn his stripes, but after the LAPD caught wind of this, he was sentenced to 14 years, and he had a list of favors directed to his best friend to make sure Chad Keaton, his little brother, graduated school and stayed off the streets, and Kendrick Lamar took on that responsibility. Chad graduated high school and stayed a square, but when the Good Kid Maad City tour came calling, Kendrick Lamar answered the call, leaving Chad behind in Compton. And towards the end of July 2013, while Kendrick is in the UK, back in Compton, two men in a white sedan are on Stockwell Street and Parmelee Avenue. They roll down their window and...
It's Friday night, July 12th, 2013. There's been a at Stockwell Street and Parmelee Avenue. The large, frustrated crowd has lots of candles and even more hope because, unlike most drive-bys in Compton, the intended victim is alive. He's Chad Keaton, a lifetime resident of the neighborhood.
Chad was attending a family function literally around the corner from his house of a longtime friend. And as he's walking out the house at 9 p.m., a white sedan containing two African-American males drove by, saw him, and him.
When he received the call of what had happened to Chad, Kendrick was on stage in the UK, fans singing lyrics to the pain he had suffered in Compton, and he couldn't stop the tour to fly back home and visit Chad, so he FaceTimed him instead.
Chad Keaton, he was like my little brother. We grew up in the same community. I was actually best friends with his older brother, which is incarcerated right now, and him just always telling me to make sure that, you know, Chad is on the right path. You know, and he was on the right path. But, you know, things happen where, you know, sometimes the good are in the wrong places, and that's exactly what happened. What happened to him? He got
And when he thought it couldn't get any worse, he received two more phone calls where he was told about the tragedy of two of his lifelong friends, Esprays and Pop.
I'm feeling all these things while I'm on tour, to be 100% real with you.
When you're supposed to be enjoying
it, yeah. Whether you Kanye tour, tour prior to that, before that, when I went overseas, you know, I gotta get off stage and almost face the madness and get these calls. You feel me? Like, it's real, man. 3 of my homeboys that summertime, yeah, you know, close ones too, not just somebody that I hear about. These people I grow up with. So it all psychologically it messes your brain up because you live in this life, you know what I'm saying? But you still have to face realities of this. I got to get back off that tour bus and go to these funerals, you know, and go talk to my moms and talk to their aunties, the kids that you know, lost their lives.
Earlier I mentioned Kendrick donating proceeds from his 2011 track Keisha's Song. The song details the sad reality of a 17-year-old woman falling victim to Compton, and before its release, he sat down with his 11-year-old sister Kayla and played the song. She didn't understand much because she was 11, but 4 years later, Kendrick is still on that Good Kid Maad City tour, and he received one more disturbing phone call and was told that Kayla, who was 15 years old, was pregnant.
You talked about your sister being pregnant and not being able to lead her maybe on a path that was more responsible.
Even that, you know, from my sister to my little cousins and to other siblings around me that's coming up. How can I be a voice for all these people around the world and can't reach them like I want to?
Not being able to visit Chad in the hospital, Pop, Esprays, and his sister Kayla. All this is happening back in Compton, and Kendrick is living a separate life away from his people, preaching about being a leader for Compton in all his songs, and he can't reach those closest to him. All this pain he felt was happening at the height of his rap career in 2013, and it all led up to a dark night in an Atlanta hotel room where a drunk, heartbroken, and guilt-ridden Kendrick Lamar was on the very brink of deleting himself.
And if I told your secrets, the world will know one can't stop us.